What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the video. So our next two videos, we're gonna be covering cases from Caudabe. These are the 2022 cases for the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Today we're gonna be talking about the Sheath, which is my #1 most recommended case for people. When somebody typically asks me what case should I get, a lot of times I go straight to the Sheath as my first recommendation. So we're gonna talk about why that is. We'll take a close-up look at these. We've got two different colors here. We have the black, and then we have the mountain green colorway that we'll take a close-up look at. And then give me a subscribe because you don't want to miss our next video where we're going to be talking about the Caudabe Synthesis. The Synthesis is a little bit more of a tougher case. It has an all-new design this year, and they've made this case grippier than in years past. So we're going to take a look at where that grip has been strengthened in terms of the case design, take a close-up look, talk about why you should think about the Synthesis, compare it a little bit to the Sheath, and we'll do that in the next video. So for today, let's get into the Sheath. All right, so there's a few things you need to know about this case as we kind of take a close-up look at it. First and foremost, Caudabe practices a minimalist approach. So on the outside of the case, you're getting a simple, elegant design with very little branding. You do get a small branding hit here on the bottom of the back part of the case, but otherwise on the outside of the case, no branding at all. And really there's not any crazy design elements to this, mainly just a nice simple looking case. On the inside, you do get the full logo here at the bottom. You do see where the MagSafe, they have marked where the MagSafe magnets are. And then you also get a serial number at the top here. The other thing I want to point out here real quick while I don't have the phone in the case is if you look at the buttons, if you notice, they've actually removed some of the material around one edge of the button. What that does is it helps with clickiness. So the buttons on this case are very clicky. So if that's something you're concerned about, you're definitely covered with this case. The other thing is it's made out of a Shocklight material. It's called a Shocklight polymer. And one of the things I really like about the case is it's actually a pretty thin case. Let me go ahead and put it on the phone here. And so you're not adding a ton of bulk to your phone, but you are still getting up to 6.6 feet of drop protection. And I've actually dropped my phone in this case before, and it survived just fine. So I do feel like that 6 feet of drop protection is legitimate. So it's a nice thin case, but you're still getting, it's a good balance between thinness and drop protection. Now it's not ultra thin, it's not like a super thin case, but it's not a bulky case by any means. So that's really why when I say that it's my #1 recommended case, a lot of that is because you get a nice balance between thinness, drop protection. It has a nice elegant design that could work in the boardroom as well as, you know, I guess in the construction yard. And then the last thing is, if I pull it up close here, you can see on the back and around the edges, let me get some good light on it. It has this texture material, and that goes all around the phone. So it's a very grippy case in the hand. You're not going to drop this phone out of your hand because it's slippery. It's not a slippery case whatsoever. It does have nice rounded edges, so it has a really nice feel in the hand. There aren't any sharp edges that are going to, you know, potentially cut your hand, or not cut your hand, but, you know, feel like a hard edge against your hand. It's a nice soft feeling case that does have grip, all thanks to that texture. So to look around real quick, the camera cutout, it's a very deep camera cutout, so you have plenty of protection for your camera lenses. Again, the button, very clicky button, no issues at all. You do get a nice, it's kind of a nice little design element here, but it's pretty simple again, still pretty simple and elegant. Here is the mute rocker. Plenty of room there to access the mute rocker and turn that on and off. You have your volume up and down buttons that are, again, very clicky. And then if I look at the bottom, we have our cutout for our power port and our speaker grills. One thing new about this case this year is, if you notice, the material, here, let me see if I can show, here we go. You can see it this way. So if you look right here where the power port is, this material has been strengthened. they've added material here so that to increase the durability of the case, to make the case more durable. So they've actually added some additional material here to make this case a little bit tougher. You can pull the bottom away from the phone, but you actually have to forcefully pull it away from the phone. It's not loose whatsoever. And in general, this phone, the case has a really nice fit, nice tight fit around the phone itself. And let me take it off. Actually, I'll pull up the green one here just to show you. And while it is flexible, it has a lot of good structure to it, especially with this. There's kind of feels like a plastic insert that's over the MagSafe coil here, and that adds some rigidity. So even though it's flexible, it's still a rigid case. And so it's not a floppy case by any means. So let's take one more look at the black version here of the case, and then we will plop on the green mountain colorway and take a look at that. One other note is if you look at the table behind the case, my table is black, so I have a black wood table. And if you notice, the case is a lighter shade of black, and I actually like that. I'm not gonna say it's gray or even a dark gray. It's definitely black, but it's a lighter shade of black, which I think, I like that color of it. I like how it is a little bit of a lighter shade. I actually like, they've made a gray colorway in the past that I've really liked. And so this kind of reminds me of that a little bit. It's definitely still a dark black case, but it's not as, it is a lighter shade of black, if that makes sense. So this is the green colorway, and oh yeah, you can see that texture really nicely here. It's interesting to see it with the deep purple iPhone. I don't know if I would go green if I had the deep purple iPhone, but definitely gold would look really nice because you kind of have a creamy gold color coming through with the gold accents. I think would look really nice along with the green. Here's the power port, the volume up and down buttons. There's that texture along the side. Speaker grills and your power port. And again, this one as well has also been strengthened with some additional material. There is the power button. Top of the phone. And then here's the front of the phone, and you can see that lip. You know, it's not as deep of a lip because I have that screen protector. It is a little more shallow, but if you're rocking a screen protector, you're gonna be fine just because you have that screen protector on there. If you're not, then this is gonna give you more of a lip and a little bit more protection for the front of your phone. So again, here is the back of the phone, the green colorway. Let's take one more look at this camera cutout. So you can see that it does rise above the camera lenses. And the back of the phone. So the last thing I want to talk about on these is where to get them. So you have to order these at Caudabe.com. They're not available on Amazon. You can pick them up for 36 bucks. I've ordered several cases from Caudabe. It's been a great experience. They've delivered on time, they've delivered quickly, so I have no issues at all at ordering through their website. So definitely if you're interested in one of these cases or others, there are other colorways they have. They also have a steel blue colorway, and then they have a crimson version of this case as well. So go check that out at Caudabe.com. And thank you for watching the video. Don't forget we have the Caudabe synthesis coming up next. If you have any questions about anything, leave me a comment down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I appreciate you watching. See you in the next video. Thanks guys. Peace.